Hi, welcome to November. This month, we will talk about the environment and how businesses can do their fair share to fight or help fighting climate change. I'll start by talking about the modern entrepreneurs. Then I will talk about how to make better choices, and in the end, I will tell you how I do my fair share. So stick around. And we start this conversation by talking about entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs, in my opinion, in the corporate world, plays a big role into this fight against climate change, because the leaders of today, the entrepreneurs of today, they really, in my view, should care about the environment. And I believe the modern entrepreneur, they do really care about the environment, because we all realize that it's time to acknowledge that we have damaged our planet and that we need to do something, and we need to do something really, really quickly in order to save our planet and to live in a much better world. So I think in the corporate world, that's a fact, and the modern entrepreneur knows that, and they make that happen, and they put that in place in the companies they lead. And on the other hand, clients also, when they looking for companies for partnerships or for doing business with them and things like that, they honestly look at those companies' values and their philosophies and all that. And of course, that's something that they will also look to, because they choose wisely, because they will see, oh, this company is a company that really cares about the environment, and they look at what is happening around the world and what can be done to minimize our impact in the planet and make it a better planet. And if we think about it, a company that really is environmentally friendly and really looks into this, it's a much efficient company, because, for example, I'm thinking about less wastage, for example. I'm thinking about in a sector that I worked with, airlines. For example, if they find ways of minimizing wastage, which package, choosing wisely the package that they use for the food. Of course, the food in planes, they have to be put in a package. There's no other way airlines can do that, and that's a problem. But if they look into options of packaging that are more environmentally friendly rather than just plastic or anything like that, they would do their fair share, and they would become more efficient, because there was less wastage, and that means money in the pocket, in my view. So I think if we look at this as a whole, it's beneficial for everyone. It's beneficial for the planet, it's beneficial for the companies, and it's beneficial for the people that actually work with these companies and buy products from these companies and things like that, because obviously it is important that we all think about that. And I believe that the future is really that, and the future of entrepreneurship and the modern entrepreneur really does care about the environment and really does do something about it. And to be environmentally friendly and to be a modern entrepreneur and care about all these things, you obviously need to make better choices. And that's something that it's very important in every business, because we need to care about the environment, of course. We need to be proactive in this issue, because it's our planet, it's where we live. But as entrepreneurs, we really need to look into our bottom lines as well, and the profitability and viability of our businesses. So it's not just something that we look in a one-sided fashion, but we really need to look at it as a whole, and all the aspects of it, and how our businesses are going to benefit, and what is the pros and cons, etc. To be very honest, I don't find any cons on this. I think it's all pros, it's all positives, it's all a gain game. Yes, there will have maybe some costs, but I will face it as an investment. And sometimes in some industries, of course, there will be an investment needed, and in that case, I think the governments should step up also and assist with this. For example, in the energy sector, and here in Australia, where we are reliant on coal, I think we should start changing, and I think our government is doing something about that as well, and that transition needs to be made. And obviously, for that transition to happen, there needs to be an investment. There needs to be an investment in renewables. There needs to be an investment in transforming the coal power plants into renewables, and training the people that work in those plants into working with other forms of energy production. And of course, that is an investment, but in the long run, I think that investment will pay off. But for other sectors, I think better choices mean looking at the businesses that you have, and find ways that you can be energy efficient, environmentally friendly, because in the end that will give you profitability. For example, I'm thinking airlines, and packaging is one of the issues that they face, because obviously you can't have people cooking meals inside an aircraft, because it's dangerous, there can be no flames, etc. So therefore everything must be pre-cooked and just reheated inside the aircraft. And obviously there's always going to be packaging involved. I think airlines have been working towards finding a much more environmentally friendly options, and I believe they will keep on doing so, and they will find always better options and better ways of doing that. For example, I'm thinking about supermarkets, and at the moment I think supermarkets really need to step up and do something about this and make better choices. We see in a lot of supermarkets fruit and vegetables packed in plastic, and most of the times it isn't necessary, because we don't need our apples put in a plastic container, or our pears or our tomatoes. We just can go and pick them up, pick the quantity we need and put in a bag, or even put in our trolley, and then just weigh it and whatever. So there's always better choices. There's also now some bags that have been produced that also are biodegradable, which is good. I would try to avoid bags as much as possible, but if they are environmentally friendly and if they are biodegradable, they are a much better option, of course. And I think all of this is a positive, is a mindset change that needs to happen. In other businesses like myself, and other businesses in offices, minding the printing, if you don't really need to have a document in a hard copy of your document, you don't really need to print it. You will save money in paper, and you will save the environment. You will save a lot of trees being killed. So is this mindset that needs to happen. For example, in the appliances that we use, and that not only for entrepreneurs and companies, even for our all households, if we look at appliances and machinery that are more energy efficient, obviously that will help our bottom line, because if they are more energy efficient, they will consume less, and in the end, we will end up paying less in our energy bills. So this is all about making good choices, about analyzing what's the good, what's the bad, what's profitable, what will help us make our company environmentally friendly and profitable at the same time, and then coming to a balance and coming to the conclusion that those much better choices led to our success. Now, how I do my share of environmentally friendly company? Well, since the beginning of Updated Words, and we are not a company, of course, both me and my colleague, we were a team before, we always cared about the environment, and this was something that we were really and we felt really strongly about. And we always wanted to do our part in the fight against climate change, because we do believe in climate change, and we do believe that if everyone does a little bit, we will achieve big. We saw that with the pandemic and the fact that a lot of people have been working from home, there was a reduction in pollution because there was less cars, etc. But we need to continue working, and we need to do our share and fight against this phenomenon that is killing our planet. At Updated Words, we use less paper. I never print documents if I don't really need to print them. Usually I only print my certified translations because I really need to stamp them and sign them. That's a law. And of course I need those documents translated. I don't print any other documents because I work digitally, and I have all the digital copies, and I can open it in PDFs or Word or whatever, and I never print any documents unless it is strictly necessary. I don't print as well because obviously less paint, less cartridges, and we know that the cartridges also use chemicals that are not very environmentally friendly, so I limited the printing. So obviously that will be another thing. And I recycle if I do need to print. And for example, it happens sometimes, unfortunately, with my certified translations, it's that I print and sometimes I may notice something that was not okay and I need to reprint, or it happened with me a few times as well. I ended up looking, and because when I do my certified translations, I try to recreate the document so it looks exactly the same, so it's like a transcreation, and I do that, and when I look at it, I was actually certifying the original and not the translation, because I always have to put a copy of the original at the back, so when that translation is going to be used, they see exactly what the original was, and that original is exactly the same as the one that was submitted by the person. So, and sometimes that leads into mistake, and I really get upset with me when it happens. But if it happens, you obviously recycle all that paper. I never put it in a normal bin. I just put in the recycle, because I think it is important that if we all recycle, when I use the cartridges on my printer, I take them to the shop and they recycle them for me. And I think this is a small step, but if we all do these small steps, we all get there in the end. So I do that. I recycle, I use less paper, I'm mindful of everything that I use. I don't really overuse plastic. I don't really do all these things. And I think in the end, I think it's better for me, it's better for my business, and it's better for the environment. And that's all for today. I hope you liked our conversation, our first conversation of November, our first conversation about the environment. But if you have any questions, if you would like to share any experiences, please leave your comments. Share please, so let's make these conversations even bigger, and subscribe the channel so you will have a notification of a new conversation every week. I hope you have a good one. See you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.